Howdy, howdy, ho! Hey, everyone. Hola. How are you doing this start of 2021? Are you the type of person that makes resolutions? Or are you somebody who says, forget about those resolutions, I want to live like this all year long? Or are you somebody who likes to go through different times of the year of doing cleanses? So today, I thought that I would talk to you about some addictions and ways to make a little change in your life. So I just got home from helping with the homeless, as I do every week. And, it was a reminder always of one, what a blessing it is to be able to help, right? But I want to really encourage each and every one of y'all to help yourself. There's a place in each one of us that we all have issues in our tissues. And when we have issues in our tissues, it can lead to a dis-ease. When there is dis-ease in our mental, in our body, it can break us down. And when we can get so broken down, sometimes can end up homeless, right? So I really, Spirit really has it big on my heart to come and help encourage, give some guidance, give some help. So if you stick with me to the end of this video, we're going to talk about a few things I have here on my table. And my little fake cigarette here, little fake vape, and talk about ways to help make some changes in your life. Now, I'm not a judger. It's not my place. I'm not a critic. It's not my place. So I'm going to just share something that I do every year, and I do like to start out at the beginning of the year. It has nothing to do with resolutions, but it has everything to do with, we've just finished a couple of big holidays here in the States. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all of that stuff, right? So usually around those times, what's more, right? There's usually more sugar. There's usually, more food, maybe some dishes around that you aren't normally, maybe you don't normally eat all the time. And so come January, my body just feels like, I don't know, 2-ton Bessie that is just holding. So I love to reset my body every January. And my Earth birthday is in March. So by the time I arrive on my birthday in March, then I'm feeling my best rather than starting on my birthday and then, so you know how a lot of people say, oh, I'll do it when? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it. I'm gonna do a big blowout and then I'm gonna start. So what I really, really want to encourage each and every one of you is, first of all, numero uno, I want you to be gentle on yourself. Second, I want you to be compassionate to yourself. And finding that compassion in what you need, not what your other family members need, maybe not what your mate, your children, your parents, your friends. A lot of times people don't want to start something because they don't want to be made fun of by the people that are around them. Or, oh, my husband's not going to let me do that. My wife isn't going to let me do that. My mom, my dad, nope, they're not going to let me do that. Oh, they're going to make fun of me, la 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 la. So you see how all of that is on the outside of you and how outside influences can really affect your mental, your choices, your health, and your body. So I was raised, like many of us, many of you, that what gets put on the plate is what you have to eat. And then how much is on the plate, you have to finish it. So that leads to can lead to many eating disorders. Been there. That can lead to over drinking. Been there. That can lead to drinking a lot of sugars. Been there. Too much caffeine. Been there. Right? So smoking, cigarettes, vapes, pipes, bongs, I don't know, whatever, right? Whatever your vice is, I want you to just own it, okay? So I'm kind of putting some things in front of me right now to talk to you about what, and imagine this is a plate full of maybe cheeseburgers or something, because I love cheeseburgers. So I want to just talk to you about what's out of balance in your life, okay? I'm not saying that you can't have a cheeseburger, or you can't have some wine, or you can't have some Coca-Cola, or you can't have any of this. What I'm here to talk about, it's not what you shouldn't do, but what you can do. Not what you can't do, what you can do. So I want you to get back into your can. I don't believe in can'ts. I raised my daughter with, we're not allowed to say can't, and we're not allowed to say hate. So if you're at the line, the edge of I can't or I hate, then that's exactly the place that, the world is reflecting back to you that you need help, that your body is screaming something. So I'm going to try not to sneeze here in a second. Our bodies are always craving something, and usually it's craving something because it needs something healthy. It needs something, it doesn't have what it needs. So I'm somebody who, I love vegetables, I love juicing, I love healthy food. I was not raised on healthy food. I was raised on junk food. I was raised on a lot of sugar. I was raised on, I went to purposely get something, I forgot it. I was raised on junk food and sugar and sporadicness and overeating and having to clean your plate and eating a lot of BS that didn't serve me. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about cravings. So cravings only last 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. So if you can start something, maybe you're going to start, I took out sodas from my life several years ago. So this is a leftover soda from the holidays. See, it's not open. From a guest that was at my house. Because, hey, I mean, listen, if they want to have it, they can have it. Doesn't mean that it's, just because I'm not going to have it doesn't mean that they're not going to have it, because I'm not going to tell you what to do. What I'm here to do is help you help you. So it is true that when you can take something out of your life for a little while, there's a good chance you might not want it back. Because when you start listening to your body, instead of just automatic response, well, I was raised on this. Well, this is what I used to drink. But if you can take it out of your body, and I do like to take things out of my body for a minimum of 30 days so that I can allow my body to have a reset, allow my body to feel what it's like, after many months or years. I'm 50. So probably until, let's just say mid-20s, maybe even the end of my 20s, that I was still a junk food, Coca-Cola, maybe even into my 30s, think about this, was still there. There was a time in my life that my body started, I have an autoimmune disease, that my body started really shutting down and becoming very inflamed. Because the more of this, the more inflamed. The sugar, the body just, inflammation loves sugar. Cancer loves sugar. So I thought about and did a lot of research of how many diseases love sugar, love fried food, love junk, okay? So my parents, if you've listened to any of my videos before, my parents died young, 42 and 52, and they smoked smoked a lot, drank a lot of sodas, drank a lot of caffeine, definitely drank a lot of their alcohol, different times of their life. So I think that it's really good for you to hear, understand where you've been, where you are, and then give yourself an opportunity to decide, what is it from this point forward? How do you want to feel? Hey, you, how do you want to feel? Hey, you, how do you want to feel? Hey, you, how do you want to feel? When's the last time you have been compassionate enough to ask yourself, how do you want to feel? So, I don't care what age you are. If you are 2, 10, 12, 16, 18, 22, 32, 42, 52, 82, 92, 102, if you have breath, if you're here listening, you have a choice. So I want you to just maybe repeat to yourself right now out loud, or in your heart, in your mind, I have a choice. I was blessed enough to meet a healer 30 years ago that said, there are 3 people, Beth, that live in my house, and we all like different bread. And we all get a choice to have what kind of bread we want. So I really want you to come into that strength and that courage that you have a choice. You. So whether you live alone, whether you live with other people, like I've been saying, I want you to choose you. So are you willing? Give me a yes, a no, give me a comment, tell me, are you willing to choose yourself? So let's create a conversation of, how have you been eating? How have you been, what are have your family's addictions been? And have you had any of those same addictions? Now, when I say addictions, you might actually have an addiction, or it might just feel like an addiction because it's all you've ever known. Now, when we start taking something out of our body, then what do? We crave it. What do? We can have a mood change. We can get agitated because the body is so used to. I'll use sugar for example. The body, when all the body is used to having is sugar, 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 sugar. When you take it out, it can bring up emotions. So I'll just give you a little hint that liver and sugar, no bueno. They do, sugar actually, the emotion that's in the liver with overstimulated with sugar is anger. So if you are somebody who gets quickly agitated, or you do have anger, or you have a lot of anger, then I'm going to really encourage you to watch your sugar and then see where you can eliminate it. Now, not just in our drinks, in our beverages, but also in the food, that a lot of the times the food that is served to us has hidden sugar in it. So I want you to think about the grocery store, okay? So you know how the grocery store, everything that's in the middle of the grocery store is like packaged or jarred or canned, and then everything on the perimeter of in the inside of the grocery store is fresh. So you have your produce, you have the meat coolers, you have the bakery. So all of that is around on the outside. So I'm going to encourage you, when you go to the grocery store, try to see where you can just shop on this part on the outside. And then where on the inside can you maybe just think about, like, maybe there's only a few things you might need in the middle part. Your toilet paper, your paper towels, some soap. You get my point. So anything that's like boxed, canned, all that kind of stuff holds a lot of preservatives. And what happens with preservatives is it needs a lot of sugar, it needs a lot of salt, it needs a lot of stuff to preserve it, right? So there's just a lot more toxins in it. And so I want to just really encourage that. So those hidden sugars. So I thought I would just give you some little tips. So one thing to do is, if you're somebody who, if you have this in your house and you weren't drinking it anymore, could you have it in your house, or would it feel like a punishment, or would you, all of a sudden be fiending for it and like, I've got to drink it, right? If you're somebody who wants to take out maybe your alcohol, your liquor, for temporary or permanently, then you might want to consider, this is an empty bottle. You might want to consider not having any in your house so that you're not tempted during those craving times, okay? Or put a lock on the cabinet and ask somebody to hold that lock for you, just so you can stick to your 2 weeks, 30 days, or longer, whatever it is that you're going for. I am somebody who I'm originally a Texan, my southern self, and I was raised on sweet tea. So again, more sugar. So now if you know from Texas, you know who this is. But now I don't drink sugary tea any longer. So I drink yerba mate tea. I'll put that link if you want it below, and I allow, and then I use a natural stevia or honey, or I use nothing, or I'll just squeeze a lemon in it. So like right now, where I'm being extra clean, I'm just squeezing a lemon or a lime in my tea and not having any sweetener. So I know that that's hard for some people, but if you are going to have a sweetener, please don't have an artificial, like those pink and blue packets. So I'd rather you head over and get some honey, some stevia, or something like that. So organic if possible. So I am an organic girl. So I have my tea, and then of course water. Water. And I have even put water in my wine bottle before. And you see, how many times have y'all gone to restaurants and you see wine bottles used as water bottles? You can also take a wine glass, pour your water, put your lemon in there, and so if you're somebody who likes to have that feel of a cocktail, you can make yourself a mocktail, right? So you can make some beautiful fruit juices. If you're somebody who likes to juice, doesn't have to be all vegetables, you can juice a lemon. You can put juice a watermelon. Some of the best juices I've had were, watermelon juices and cucumber juices and things like that. So make a green drink, make a juice drink, put it in your wine glass. Clear my throat. Let me have a little tea. So delicious. So that's it about the beverages, okay? So we can say that we've eliminated our sugar. I've taken this out for a month, so I had my share in the holidays. I didn't overshare though. I'm gonna put my tea here, and I have my water. All right. So now let's just have a little highlight about food and smoking, and then I'll head you on because this video is way longer than I actually anticipated it to be. So I hope you stuck around with me this long. And please subscribe, like, and share so that we can help, we can all be in this together and help each other. I can't tell you how many times I have made my choices, whether it's a cleanse or just a day that I said I don't want to have any drinks, or I don't want to eat this, or I don't want to do that. And it doesn't matter how old you are. people still peer pressure. I used to I still have the friend, but I used to have this friend that every time I'm on a cleanse, she and her father would be like, "What? What are you doing? Just have one. Oh, come on. You're ridiculous. Oh, come on. We're hanging out now. Let's just come on. Have all those cheese and crackers. Have the wine." And it was really, really frustrating. And it would actually make me frustrated and angry because we were adults and I'm trying to, express what I'm doing. And then I felt like I was back in middle school or high school being peer pressured. So I'm going to give you permission right now to just let that go. Please, no bullying. Please, no peer pressuring. Everybody gets to have their choice. So don't tell anybody how to eat and what to do and anything like that. Honor them as you want to be honored, right? So everything that boils down to boundaries. So when our boundaries are strong, then that's all that matters. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. So you are strong enough. You are amazing. You are courageous. So I'm rooting for you. And if you ever need somebody on your team, then, you can just, if you're standing somewhere, you're at a party, an event, and you feel this coming up, I want you to just channel me and just be like, oh, all right, Beth is standing right next to me. I'm also known as Sage. That's my other name, Sage Lightfeather. So Sage is here with me. Beth is here with me. And we're in this together. I'm not alone on this. So no, just no, just simple. No is a complete sentence. And on to the next thing about food. So many of us were taught to sit at our table and be polite and keep saying yes. Oh, sure. Thank you. And now we have to eat food that maybe isn't on our diet or our lifestyle. I don't like to use the word diet. Isn't in our lifestyle. That isn't who we are now. And they might say, hey, well, you were just eating macaroni and cheese last week. Why aren't you eating it this week? And you can say, because I simply am not. Today I'm making a choice that this isn't what I want. So just know that the other big thing that I do is I probably 10 years ago when I was 40, went through yoga teacher training, and I took out gluten, I took out caffeine, and I took out some other things in my life, and I had to learn to really love myself. And I found out how much I loved everybody else and gave my love away to everybody else, but I wasn't really loving me. Because if I was still saying yes to them or giving in to them, then my boundaries weren't set for me. My boundaries weren't tight. So it's really your birthright to set your boundaries really tight, because Creator placed these decisions in you. That's why it's called your intuition, your gut feeling. So if you say you were somewhere, let's just say you were with your family. I'll just sum it up for that way. Your family, and they offered you something. And you spoke up, and you said no. And they started putting you down. And you started getting into that place where, maybe that little boy or little girl would have just caved in because it's got to do the right thing and you have to be polite. So I want you to remember right now, make a new dedication to yourself, a new contract with yourself, a new promise with yourself, that you are choosing you. I'm going to say that again, because you are choosing you. It's your birthright. It's your number one job to listen to this gut voice inside. So just because somebody else can drink and eat certain things doesn't mean that you're able to. And I want you to honor that, okay? So, I'll talk about smoking in just a moment. So, I brought out my silverware, little spoon, big spoon, knife, fork. Okay? So here's what many of us have seen in our life. This is not how you hold your fork, and this is how a lot of people hold their fork. Because what are they doing? They're just shoveling, and they're eating, and they gotta hurry because they gotta get to the next thing. Because that's what typically such an American way, right? Even you see people holding their fork the correct way, and they don't. Most people, you don't even see them using this utensil. In case you don't know what this is, because maybe you don't use it, it's a knife. Why we use a knife? So we can cut smaller bites. Cut a smaller bite, take it in, savor it, enjoy it, and chew. Most people are not chewing, therefore in the digestive system it doesn't break down, and then people are wondering, why do they have all these issues in their digestive system? So smaller bites, chew, chew, chew. So when I first started doing this, maybe over 10 years ago, and it was because I used to eat fast, and it was because I had some eating disorders from being polite and doing the right thing. I heard or read somewhere about the chewing thing and about counting. So I want you, the next time you eat, I want you to just start chewing and counting, and then really seeing like, wow, I didn't realize this one bite took me 27 chews, or whatever it is, right? It's usually at least a minimum of 13. So chew consciously, consciously. This is unconsciousness. Consciousness. So we won't talk with our mouths full. We have a better time to listen to maybe somebody that is speaking, or just being one with the food. When's the last time that every bite you gave appreciation to? All the flavors and the colors and whatever it is that's in front of you. Okay? So that's my story on that. I am somebody who I love it to eat with a big spoon. But every once in a while, I tell myself to eat with a smaller spoon, because then I'm going to have smaller bites, and I'm going to get more conscious, be a little bit more conscious. So, little tricks and hints around food for that. So, slower, cut your food, chew, 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 chew. I didn't bring the small fork out, but you could even use a small fork. Gets less on your fork. So whatever it is that you need to do to slow down. We need to be more like the French. Slow down. Enjoy. Savor. Okay? So we've talked about food. We've talked about drinking. We've talked about sugar. Now, the last thing, thank you for staying all the way to the end, is smoking. I like my extended straw. Feel like the 20s girl right now. So I am somebody who I take my straws everywhere, because I'm trying to save all those turtles. So no plastic straws for me. So here's my little straws. So I teach breathwork, as y'all know, if you're here on my channel. And in breathwork, for many years, I have helped people either quit, eliminate, or cut down on smoking. And here is my trick. So thanks for staying to the end to learn this trick. So it's also a breathing trick. So what is smoking? It's an inhale, hold or not hold, depending on what you're smoking, and an exhale. So, right? So inhale, exhale. So my parents were cigarette smokers. Well, I know a lot of people who are cigarette smokers. I'm not. I smoked socially in my early 20s. Okay, so here is smoking, right? Inhale, exhale. So I want to really encourage y'all to get off the cigarettes. Okay? Um, that's what I'm going to say about that. That's the only thing I'm going to encourage you to quit smoking, unless you're like on crack or something. I definitely don't want you on that. So, uh, one big trick to change your smoking, quit your smoking, is whether you use a straw. I wouldn't advise you to actually use your cigarette because that might be tempting for you to light it, right? So here's your lighter, here's your straw, and it's not gonna light your straw, so you don't need your lighter. Um, and I want you to just take a straw or no straw, because you can just use your fingers. It's the act of, right? So you could be somewhere and you could, I mean, if you need the act of, because it's also a hand thing. So you can bring your hands to your mouth as if you were smoking. You can use a straw. And I want you to set a timer for 10 minutes. Or if you have a really deep craving, or you have a really tough time, you smoke a lot, then maybe set the alarm for 15 minutes, okay? And it might feel for the first few days or the first week that all you're doing is hitting your fake cigarette, because you don't realize how much the sugar, the nicotine, the act of the addiction really has on you, because you're just so used to doing that, as well as probably multitasking other things as well. When you take something out of your life, what is it happens? You're thinking about that. That's all you're thinking about. God, I just want a Coke. God, I just want some wine. God, I just want a cigarette. God, I just want a cheeseburger. God, I just want everything that you just said that you were going to, maybe eliminate for a little bit or a long time out of your lifestyle. So set a timer, and even so, maybe you're not a smoker. Maybe you want to, maybe it's the soda, okay? Set the timer and say, okay, for 10 minutes, I'm going to drink water. For 10 minutes, I'm going to drink my tea. I'm going to have some lemon water. I'm going to go take a walk around the block. I'm going to put on, I'm going to stand jogging. I'm going to call a friend and ask for help. I'm going to, reach out to Beth and say, I'm having a hard time right now. So also, just so you know, I do help one-on-ones and do group sessions. So you can head over to my website, bethhardandhealing.com, and you can also book a session with me if you need some, deeper help with this as well. So breath work, breathing, exercising, it's putting more oxygen in our body, in our head. And when we have more oxygen in us, then we're high. Hi! Hey! We're high on life. People ask me all the time, God, what are you on? Right? I am high on life. Mm-hmm. But it took some time to get that way. It took a conscious choice. It took me wanting to feel better. It took me wanting to be different from my parents who died young. It took me wanting to be different from some of my other family members and friends who have, diseases and disorders. It took my old self, my autoimmune disease. I had to get real fiery and inflamed before, and overweight. I was actually on the obese side that for me to say, you know what? Misery is not my friend. Misery is not your friend. So remember, suffering is optional. So, I've really gone along on this video, but I think it's been singing to my heart, and I could have made a bunch of individual videos, but I just felt that this is probably gonna, even if this helps one person, then yay, I'm happy. I'm happy for you to make a conscious choice for yourself. So let's just do a minute or so of some breathing, and then I'll get you off for your day. Please remember to subscribe, hit that little bell, so you know when I put out more videos. I'm really excited to do a lot more here on YouTube. I'm going to make some more videos today. So let me know some things that you're going through. And please, like I said, share and like this so that we can help some other people as well. Because I don't know about you, but I would really love to eliminate some of those bullies and pesky people that are filled with all of their judgy criticness, that usually is because they're not taking care of themselves and they're not loving themselves. So it's time to love ourselves, people. It's time to like ourselves. It's time to quit being the judger. So take a breath right now somewhere in your body, whether it's your nose or your mouth, and arrive. And a hint, if you breathe through your nose, it's going to go even deeper. So think about even when people that are smoking, they are breathing or okay. See how raw I am today. Didn't put on any makeup today. Get all my glory. So I'm gonna take back what I just said about that. That wasn't very nice of me. There's nothing wrong with me not having makeup. I don't even wear makeup most of the time. But I find that sometimes I start judging and criticizing myself when I see myself on camera, when the bright lights are on and I can see the dark circles under my eyes. But I just have to say right now, actually this is beautiful, because when I was drinking a lot and eating a lot of sugar and gluten and dairy, I had these bags under my eyes that were filled with like fluid that you could have just waddled them. And my skin, and I had a terrible skin disorder with patchy dryness and bleeding, eczema, psoriasis, because the body was just fiery and under stress. So I'm going to just love on myself right now and feel the gratitude, breathe in that gratitude of all that I've done to arrive here. Nothing happens overnight. Start. Begin. Maybe it's just starting with one meal, one beverage, one cigarette, and then you can work up to the next and to the next. Breathe that it's safe to make conscious choices. Breathe that it's safe to love you. Breathe that it's safe to right in the middle of even making a decision that you can change it. So I can't tell you how many times in the beginning of something I would be like, oh, and go, oh, I forgot I wasn't drinking this anymore. And oh my goodness, then I would maybe beat myself up and, get angry about, and like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. Oh man. And that could just start spinning. Well, it's already open. I might as well drink it. So no, if something happens like that, or in mid-sentence, if somebody says, hey, what do you want to order? You want to order those fried pickles? Want to get some fried pickles and some ranch dressing and a bucket of beer? And you go, oh my gosh, yes, I'll meet you right over at that place. Let's do that. And some wings. And then all of a sudden you're driving there and you remember, oh my gosh, I just told myself this morning I'm not going to have fried pickles and wings and beer today. When you get there, I want you to still go and show up, but I want you to show up fully for you. So when you get there, just say, oh my goodness, I completely forgot that I've started a little cleanse. First of all, you don't even have to say anything. You can just say, oh, I decided I'm not going to eat that today. But please, you go ahead and have your fried pickles and your fried mushrooms and your fried wings and your bucket of beer. And I'm going to have that salad with maybe some grilled chicken or some salmon or no animal protein. And I'll take an iced tea, unsweetened. I'll take some water with lemon, please and thank you. And remember that the whole point of when we're with people and that when we gather with people and we go, hang out at restaurants or bars or people's homes, not that we're really doing a whole lot of that in these times anymore, but the whole point of it is for fellowship, for, community. So if you eliminated the food and the drinks and the addictions, what do you have? You have the person who you asked that you wanted to hang out with. So maybe in the beginning, if that feels too hard for you, difficult, challenging to, maybe the willpower isn't strong yet, then I would love to encourage you to say to that friend, hey, can we go for a walk instead? Can we go meet at the park and sit on that bench and talk instead? It doesn't always have to be around drinking and eating to be with people. So find another activity besides eating and drinking and smoking with that person that you would normally eat and drink and smoke with. So see where you can be the one to say, hey, instead of that today, how about after we both eat or before we eat? And I would like to say after, because then it won't, maybe trigger you to, like, if you after you go for a walk and then afterwards the person says, well, now let's go down to the juke joint and have our stuff. So if you eat prior and you take water and take a water for your friend, then when you are walking and talking and sitting, you can meet for a tea or meet at a coffee shop or something like that. So then there's just less temptations. And then you get to be a beautiful example. Because maybe that person said, gosh, I'm so glad that you made this decision, that you asked me this, because you know what, I really want to do something good for myself too. And you just gave me the encouragement. But if you wouldn't have done it, I would have done it with you. So just know that you are not only the best person for you, you're also the best person for somebody else. And listen, people are watching you. People are watching me. People are watching us. It's what humans do. We watch each other. But this time, let's try to watch without judging, without criticizing, and be with each other with compassion and hold space with compassion and encouragement. You don't have to be on the same road as anybody, but you do need to be on your divine path. So just know that everything holds energy, everything is energy, everything holds a frequency. This holds a frequency different than this. This holds a frequency different than this. Okay? If this were a cigarette, this holds a frequency different than anything, right? So pick your frequency that is going to bring your body to its high on life. So that's why I love to juice a lot of my vegetables, because for the amount of vegetables that we're supposed to have in one day. That's why most people don't do it, because that's a lot of vegetables. So there's so many juicing vegetables and recipes out there. You don't need to go spend a lot of money at the juice stores. You can go for, the grocery store, buy all of it, do it at home like I do, and go online and to maybe those juice stores and, see what their recipes are, and then make it at home. Because I'm going to tell you, like, I'll tell you how to make a virgin margarita, and we'll end with this, okay? I'm already craving it right now. So I haven't had liquor in 3.5 years, I don't think, because it was just giving me headaches, and it was messing with my autoimmune disease, and it just was hurting me, and it wasn't doing anything good for me. So I had to really listen to my body. But one of the things that I used to really like, because I'm from Texas, Mexican food and margaritas, right? So take the tequila out, take the sugar out. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to get your lemons, you're going to get your limes. You can even make a spicy one, and you can put ginger in it. You can put a jalapeno in it. So jalapeno would be really spicy. So when you juice lemon and lime and ginger, you can even throw a turmeric in there. It creates this beautiful, spicy. Like my mouth is watering. It tastes like a margarita. So the only thing it doesn't have in it would be the tequila. And I'm gonna encourage you, and I want to know who that's lasted this long in my video and hearing this. After you make it, I want to comment and tell me, how did you like it? So mocktails are some of the best. You can have a gathering, your next gathering, and make a bunch of mocktails. So make your virgin margaritas, and make some clean Mexican food, because you can eat almost everything clean. So just know that if there's a will, there's a way. You have all the willpower inside of you. It's your birthright. It's designed in here for you. It's just been waiting for you to show up, just like a grocery store, to say, hey, I'm here. Come pick me. Come pick me, right? Hey, here's some love. Here's some compassion. So breathe, love on yourself, enjoy it, and just, hey, maybe try something, take something out for a week. Take it out for 2 weeks. You don't have to be as extreme as me and do 30 days or more, or 3.5 years, but maybe you do. Maybe you do have an addiction, and maybe it's time to just be gentle and compassionate with yourself, and say, you know what, I'm not going to wait until it gets any worse, or I'm not going to wait until the medical reports say something. I'm going to start now. I'm going to do preventative. So the things that I do in my life are preventative because of what I saw and also what I went through. But I didn't let myself get, too extreme, because I felt I was already extreme enough. Where's your edge? Find your boundary. So thank you guys. This was much, much, much needed. And let me know how I can help you. And I'll see you in the next video. I'm also going to be doing some yoga videos. So get some movement in with us. And so the times that we can put more breath, and we'll do some movement. So maybe I'll make a yoga video today. So love y'all. Cheers to 2021 and making great choices and loving on you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.